Sometimes you hit a wall in life, and that feeling of being stuck isn't a dead end. If you pause, if you truly listen, you realize that heaviness isn't depression or exhaustion. It's the pressure of a soul about to break through its old limits. Ibn al-Arabi, the great master, once taught that God is a hidden treasure that desires to be known. And you, the human being, are not just a servant, but the perfect, polished mirror for that knowledge. Your existence isn't random, it's the answer to a divine longing. What looks like a period of stagnation or weakness is often God stripping away the limited identity that simply can't hold the next level of grace. That sudden emptiness, that loss of interest in the usual distractions, these aren't flaws. They are the scaffolding being removed around a magnificent, bigger building. The superficial structure is falling away, so the true architecture of your being can be revealed. The prophet reminded us that we carry a divine amana, a trust, and Ibn al-Arabi's profound words explain that this trust is the ultimate potential to become al-insan el-kamil, the one who perfectly reflects all of God's qualities, holding both justice and mercy, power and beauty within a single heart. When your spirit feels like it's close to shattering, it's not the end. It's the final firing of the vessel, hardening it to contain the fire of divine love. The moment you notice this breaking point, you see the hidden blueprint God has placed within your very essence. Every trial, every struggle, every silent tear, none of it is wasted. Each moment is a crucial, deliberate step as your divine destiny is being written into your immediate reality. Think about the subtle shifts, a dream that repeats across weeks, a specific phrase you hear from multiple strangers, a quiet, unshakable sense of certainty in chaos. These aren't just coincidences. They are messages preparing you for a gift so immense it will transform not only you, but every life you touch. Before God grants a great gift, He must make the heart ready to hold it. This readiness comes as confusion, loneliness, or profound testing. It's not punishment, it's preparatory work, the crucible that refines the soul. Arabi taught, the human being only grasps the true greatness of what they are given after they have been stretched and tested to their limits. That's why before a great blessing appears, the soul is often shaken. The heart instinctively starts to detach itself from the noise and the ephemeral concerns of the world. What once felt vital, status, fleeting pleasures, or old grudges, now seems fragile and fleeting. Then a strange calmness descends, a silence that feels heavy with meaning, yet profoundly alive with potential. This stillness is the peace of God settling into the most sacred space of the heart, and in that stillness, an invisible, momentous process begins. You start to notice the small signs more deeply. You may wonder why these details matter, but they are your guidance system. They are the 7 gates being opened inside you, marking the path to the perfect whole self. Arabi called this initial phase the gate of preparation. Before you walk through, God shapes you into the one ready to cross. Preparation is rarely easy. It breaks the ego. It bends the will. It stretches your patience to its very limit. Yet, every single step draws you closer to Him. Ibn al-Arabi reminds us that divine blessings are never random events appearing out of thin air. They rise from the shadows of signs after the heart has been softened, emptied, and made spacious enough to contain them. The 7 stages of transformation. These signs, often ignored amidst the day-to-day noise,
Speak to the heart in a language of silence and symbol. Stage 1. The call of oneness, deep loneliness. The first sign is a deep internal loneliness. This is not depression or social isolation. It's a powerful spiritual turning inward. Crowds feel distant. Shallow conversations lose their grip entirely. This is God gently but firmly pulling your attention away from external anchors, forcing you to find your center within. You become a stranger to the very world you used to know. Ibn al-Arabi said, "When the heart begins to hear God, it no longer hears other voices. That is when separation from the world begins to feel like nearness to truth." The ache of loneliness becomes a profound indicator that the dialogue with the divine has begun, and all other dialogues are simply irrelevant now. Stage 2. The language of the universe, repeating symbols. The second sign is the appearance of repeating symbols, a sequence of numbers like 1111 or 444, a specific animal crossing your path repeatedly, or a word you hear from 3 different people in one day. These are not coincidences. They are synchronicity in action. Arabi explained that symbols are truth wearing a garment. God is speaking directly to your subconscious in the language of the universe to bypass your rational mind and get your attention. If you learn this language, life itself stops being random and begins to explain its hidden meaning to you, acting as a direct commentary on your inner state. Stage 3. The fire of the spirit, inner restlessness. The third sign is a constant inner restlessness. Outwardly, your life looks stable, but inside, something feels profoundly unfinished and incomplete. It's as though your soul is standing right at the edge of a vast unseen ocean. This profound unease is God actively moving you from an old state into a higher one. The change has already been decreed, though it has no physical form yet. Ibn al-Arabi described this restlessness as a fire that shapes the spirit. You are being burned clean. Only when you willingly endure its heat, without running back to old comforts, can you sense the fragrance of truth and the new being you are becoming. These first 3 stages are the silent call of oneness, establishing the inner connection.
Stage 4. Making room for grace, saying goodbye. Then comes the fourth sign, the absolute necessary need to say goodbye to the old. Without warning, certain ties break, friendships fade, careers or paths close. To the ego, it feels like loss or rejection, but to Ibn al-Arabi, it is God making room for a new, larger gift. A heart weighed down by resentment, past attachments, and dead weight cannot hold the divine light. What you call loss may actually be a profound surgical mercy. You were being freed from burdens you never knew you were carrying, preparing your vessel for the influx of grace. Stage 5. The quiet surrender, sudden trust. The fifth sign is a sudden, unearned trust, a complete surrender that transcends logic. Even when your circumstances look their worst and reason tells you to worry or fight, a calm faith settles deep inside you. You just know it. Whatever is meant to happen will happen, and it will be good. This surrender is not passive resignation. It is a powerful inner choice, a deep agreement with the divine will. It's a sign that God has breathed peace into your heart, turning fear into faith. Arabi called this the silence of the heart's secret, when it stops listening to the panic of the outside world and starts listening only to the truth within. Stage 6. Destiny's alignment,
clarity of direction. For a long time you drifted, unsure of the next step. Then one morning you wake and a quiet, unmistakable voice inside tells you, this is the way. Others may not understand the logic, but you feel absolute magnetic certainty. That decision isn't external pressure. It comes from deep within the sacred core of your being. Ibn al-Arabi said, this is when destiny begins to call your footsteps, actively aligning them with the unique path that has always been written for the perfect human you are meant to be. The path of the Amana is now clear. Stage 7, the final key, divine appearance. Then comes the seventh and ultimate sign. It's always something small and tangible, a sentence in a book that speaks directly to your dilemma, a phrase from a stranger that solves a years-long question, or an image from a dream that confirms your direction. To anyone else, it looks ordinary, but to you, it feels like the last key turning in the lock of creation. Ibn al-Arabi called this the mask of divine appearance, or tajalli, when God reveals himself in what seems most simple, confirming your entire journey. The vast, infinite truth is captured in a single, finite moment. The final secret, becoming the carrier. When these 7 signs are complete, the circle closes. Arabi saw them as whispers that make the unseen visible, guiding the heart toward its own rebirth. The true gift is not what you get, but the profound shift within you. As Ibn al-Arabi taught, when God grants something, he also makes the soul ready to carry it. The blessing doesn't simply arrive from the outside, it grows inside you first. And here is the deepest, most vital secret you must know. Divine grace is never meant only for you. When God bestows a great blessing, it spills over into the lives of others through you. You are not only the receiver, you become its carrier. Arabi said, whoever receives divine grace no longer lives for themselves alone. They spread peace and meaning wherever they go. God's gift changes not just the receiver, but all who come close to their light. That is why grace is never the end. It is the beginning of something higher, the start of your true, responsible life as the perfect human you are meant to be. Every struggle you've endured until now has been part of that colossal preparation. You are ready. The door has been knocked. The blessing is already on its way. Ask yourself now, which of these signs have you been ignoring? What hidden wisdom is your restlessness trying to tell you?